for you about somebody who is possibly projecting promiscuity. It feels to me like they are looking for problems in the relationship, possibly because they are nervous themselves about being caught, or because they're trying to justify starting some arguments with you. Maybe you're just the person that they feel they can most easily take out their difficult day on you by starting some fight, but it's somebody who is basically creating in their mind a problem that doesn't actually exist, seeing some sort of duplicitous behavior that isn't actually there, or making it seem like you're cheating when you're not. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And happy Friday. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. You can find that in the description box, along with more information on how to become a member, as well as how to own your very own soy candle that I make. My Etsy shop is linked below. So let us dive in. We're going to start with the Under the Oak Tarot. Hello, Urban Walker. How are we doing? I hope you're having a good day. What else do we have? Seven of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, so this is somebody who feels like you're lying. Take it how it resonates. Maybe this is, someone connected to you. But we have an accusation of tomfoolery and infidelity. And it's somebody who's like not operating with all of their functions right now. This is somebody who is trying to probably distract from their own behavior or disappointments. Trying to start an argument or make out like somebody else is the villain or the problem in the relationship. Page of Wands in the reverse, Seven of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, because I think to anybody who has a few brain cells to rub together, it's quite obvious that we have someone who is actually being quite faithful. But it doesn't seem to be enough for this delusional person. Welcome back, Priyanka. How you doing? Umesh's current energy. Awesome. I've added that for you. Yes, of course. And what else do we have? King of Swords and the Two of Wands in the reverse. This is somebody who feels like they can make something look problematic even though it isn't. So they know that they're exaggerating something. They're dealing with somebody that is, I think, operating with more integrity than they are. But this King of Swords is trying to make somebody else look like they're the problem. And it could be they're projecting this because they themselves are, out here hanging out with people they shouldn't. We have the Hierophant and the Ace of Wands. But I see somebody who has been committed, someone who has been faithful and loyal. And there's only one person that they want, in their bed or to see naked. Hello, YT. I do not. Hello, chatting. Thank you. That's better than Cox. What else do we have? Page of Swords and the Page of Cups. This person's a little bit immature. And you can tell by that. I think they're trying to distract from their own problems by making you look like the bad guy. They're trying to make it seem like you cannot be trusted so that nobody else realizes that they cannot be trusted. Who is this clown and why are you dating them? Hello. Yeah, my tarot reader said that I can't see you anymore. Yeah, no, apparently you're just delusional. This is somebody who's trying to make you out to be the problem when they got their own issues. It's like they're a magician, but like a bad one. Like, look over there. You're like, what? There's nothing there. 5 of Cups in the reverse, 10 of Swords, and the 6 of Swords. So there is an opportunity to off ramp this relationship to be like, okay, I think we're good on that. And it's because you find out that this person is just like looking for a reason to start a fight. That's not a good activity for a Friday night, okay? Let's just be cool. This is the Blood Moon Tarot. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Ellie. How are you doing? Hello, Linda. If you would like me to pull some cards for you, you can attach your request to a super chat and I will add you to the list. I do personal questions after the general reading, so that would be in about 30 minutes. We have the 7 of Dreams, which is the 7 of Swords, which we already had. The Lying energy. Is that the first one also? It was. Interesting. And the 9 of Songs or 9 of Cups in the reverse. This is all a distraction technique. I did something I don't want you to be mad about, so I'm going to try to make it seem like there's a bigger problem over there. Everybody look over there so that I can sneak away and nobody gets mad at me. The thing is, I feel like this King of Swords is not as crafty as they think they are. Keep in mind, this King of Swords does not have to be a man. This is somebody who is dishonest and probably likes to hear their own voice, but doesn't have to be a man. This is someone who feels like they can kind of sidestep responsibility or accountability for something they've done if they make someone else out to be a bigger problem. 2 of Skins or the 2 of Wands in the reverse, the Knight of Cups in the reverse, and the Queen of Cups in the reverse. It's all about emotional manipulation. So if I can make you feel bad and make you feel like you owe me an apology, then maybe now I don't have to, explain what I was up to or apologize for what I said. Linda, if you do PayPal, that would be for a long form reading. But for the live stream ones, it gets a little bit difficult to bop between different apps to figure it out. So I would prefer the YouTube super chat. But you can email me, and I do private readings, and it's a video on YouTube with no ads, and then there's nobody else watching it, if you'd rather do that route. Hello, Weg, how are you doing? What else do we have? Ace of Dreams, which is the Ace of Swords. Sun in the reverse, and Judgment. Yeah, this is just a big, distraction. What are they lying about? I think they're really nervous that you're going to be able to figure out what's really going on. That's why they're throwing such a hissy fit or a temper tantrum. And then they want to be able to claim sensitivity to it later on so that the subject matter doesn't get brought up again. It's like, leave me alone. Ugh, I can't believe you would do this. But it's all an act just to make sure that you can't really question what's been going on their side of things. Two of Songs, or the Two of Cups, the Knight of Swords in the reverse, and Justice. So the important question here is, okay, so that didn't happen. What's really upsetting you? You know, you want me to believe that everything is fine, but clearly it's not. You're upset over something that didn't happen. Let's take it down a notch. Like, what's really going on? What are you hiding? Now, if you ask that person what I just said, you're probably not going to get a very favorable answer. You're probably going to get somebody who throws even more of a fit. But they're trying to hide the real problem by manufacturing a different problem. Yes, this is a tarot reading. Hello, Annie. How are you doing? Linda, I think it's definitely something that you can learn, but I find that most people who want to be able to give themselves a tarot reading, they end up seeing what they want in the cards instead of the actual truth. So I would, if you're trying to get answers for yourself and you don't want a reading from a tarot reader, then I would say at least have a close friend also learn with you and you can read for each other. But the bias issue is a big problem, which is why it helps when it's somebody who's not, invested in your life. Yes, this is a general reading. Thank you, Urban Energy. I appreciate it. Urban Walker, I appreciate it. Hello, Annie. Yes, this is a general reading. It may or may not resonate. And if you have a personal question, I do personal readings at the end when you attach your question to a super chat. And I also have a lot of other readings on my channel if this one doesn't resonate. So we've got the Nine of Wands in the reverse and the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. The reason this person's really losing their temper is because they're nervous about being exposed for what they've actually done. This would be like, obviously the glaring possibility here is they themselves have been unfaithful and they're accusing you of being unfaithful because it makes it easier for them to avoid that conversation. But it could also be something that's different, right? Like, I don't want you to notice that I, stole $1,000, so I'm going to accuse you of something. Or I don't want you to see that, I started drinking again, so I'm going to accuse you of cheating. They're doing something specifically, like they're accusing you, specifically to avoid being accused themselves of something. The Hanged Man and the Five of Swords in the reverse. I think you know what's going on. I think you see through this tactic. Maybe they've employed it before. But with the Seven of Cups in the reverse, it's like, nah, I can see what's going on here. I know why you're really mad. You don't want to talk about what you've done. You don't want to be caught up in what you've said or not said. Yeah, I think just in general, it's discouraging, or most people would discourage you to read for yourself. Ace of Swords, Death in the reverse. So this delusional individual, the Seven of Swords person who's lying about what they got going on, this is someone who said something was over when it really wasn't. This could, of course, be somebody who's lying about cutting off their ex or ending a flirtatious conversation or, yes, I really did quit drinking or I stopped spending money on OF. there's something contentious here and they know it's going to start a fight. So rather than deal with that, they're like, ah, you must be cheating. I can tell. That looks like Carbon's lipstick right there. But they're lying. They're just trying to start a fight and make the heat run in your direction instead of their own because they know that they're about to get in trouble. Hello, Owie. We've got the Three of Pentacles and the Judgment card in the reverse. They're not going to be successful in this, and I tell you why. It's because there's someone else who's like, hey, isn't that a little bit weird? Or, hey, doesn't that person kind of smell a little bit like vodka? They can do whatever they want with this, starting a fight thing, but it's not going to have the intended outcome. They're still going to get caught for whatever they've done. It's just not as great a plan as they might think it is to start launching accusations so that nobody looks their way. It doesn't work out that way. They end up getting caught regardless. And I do feel like for many of you, this is because we have someone who thought that they could play by the same rules as were acceptable a long time ago. They're not accepting that something has changed. Someone has access to, your phone's location, or someone has, the bank printout in their hands. There's something that this person has kind of got no control over, but they feel like if they throw this big fight, this big tantrum, then maybe they can distract you long enough so that you don't see their grades on the report card. You know what I mean? Hey, Lemonade, how are you doing? I had someone gift me some cards. I don't know. For a long time, I just kind of felt like they were like fun, but not really that serious. And then I started reading for other people, and it seemed a little bit more reliable. Hello, Third Eye. Ooh, you want me to use those? Hello, Rachel. We are almost 18 minutes in. So we have the realizations card, epiphanies, understandings, awakenings, and distracted, sidetracked, change, delays. I think you're onto this person. I think you know that what they're doing is just trying to start an argument so that, I don't know, maybe you don't have the energy to accuse them of what they've actually done. There's that twin flame card and finality. This could be somebody who suspects that you're about to break up with them. This could be someone who's threatened by the fact that you've been doing a lot of reflection, a lot of introspection, and I think you're realizing that you're dealing with somebody who's a bit of a fraud. I mean, I don't know. They're coming through as delusional. But I think they know that you're aware of what's going on. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate the subscription. Yes, very true. Did I say hello to Jamaica? What's up? So we have foundation, second chance. Yeah. Confusion and only you. They want to keep you in a state of confusion so that, they are able to keep you around. But I think you're starting to realize that this individual is lying to you, that things feel a little bit off because they're trying to confuse you. So even though they might love bomb you or make it seem like you are the only person they're interested in, or, you're the most important thing in the world to this person, they're not acting that way. They feel like they can do a lot of this and they can prevent you from doing any of this, but I see you walking away because the actions don't match the words. They say a whole lot, but they don't back up their words. How about Idris? How are you doing today? What else do we have? The Druid. The Druid has an intimate link with nature and the cycles of life. They're mysterious. Oh, sorry, you guys. I need to like get closer to a candle. Their mysticism is ancient and deeply rooted, though their tradition is as changeable as the earth. Their strength is a quiet one. Their best friends are animals. So I do feel like that's the person I'm reading for, and you're quite perceptive individual as well. The thing that people fear about you is you're good on your own. The friendships you invest in or the romantic connections that you pursue, none of them are required for you to be you. You are not codependent. You are not afraid of going off on your own. I bet you're not even afraid to go out to dinner on your own. So this person's freaking out because they know you might just pick up and leave. Quest marker. You have a heading and a pep in your step. There's no creature in this land that can stop you from completing your mission. Just make sure to hydrate, eat, and get adequate rest. A player with no reserves will taste no reward. Yeah, I think you're ready to be like, and about. Okay, so turns out you were lying. I don't have to put up with that. And you're also accusing me of something that I didn't actually do, and you know that I didn't do it. So you're starting to wonder, like, how do we get here, right? Prequel. This quest is bringing up something hidden deep in your memory. It may be from an old game or even from console generations before your time, but something about it reminds you of home. This person is starting to act like someone from your past. And I think that makes it a little bit easier for you to realize or like accept what you have to do as far as changing that. I don't need to do that. I don't need to repeat this cycle. I know that this is somebody who needs to be working on their healing. No, I don't think it's bad. I think it means that you're comfortable with yourself. I did not ever want to do that. And then when I was traveling for work by myself, I had to kind of just like get used to it. And I think I got to the point where I was like, man, if I'm going to be in an airport or if I'm going to be like bumming around town, there is something absolutely delightful about picking wherever you want to eat, staying as long as you want to, not having to run any errands for anybody else. I don't know. I think it's a flex when you have the cojones to go and eat by yourself. Solo campaign. A member has left the party. It's a difficult situation and feelings could be raw for multiple players. At these times, remember that the developers set these events in motion for a reason. Look for the lesson. Tutorial. Look for the lesson. Oh, I found it. It says tutorial on it. A member of your party has discovered something while exploring the archives. It seems to be some essential truth or ancient knowledge. It's likely to have life-changing effects upon absorption of the information. So I think you found out this person was doing something. Let's just say they started drinking again when they had told you that they weren't going to be drinking. Or, they paid something and they really didn't. You find the lie. Right? Where's the lie? You found it and you put two and two together and you're like, oh, so this member over here is accusing me of stuff because you don't want to talk about what you did. All right. Well, we don't have to talk about it. I already know it was bad. I kind of hate it. So I'm just going to pack up my stuff and I'm going to leave. You don't want to have that conversation? That's fine, but I will still let you know I'm done. Goodbye. Thank you, and don't come again. Don't you come ever again. All right, this is the noisy tarot. Let's see what else we got for you. Hello, Kevin. How are you doing? Yeah, I think it's solid. All right, what else do we have? Ace of Wands, Queen of Wands, Six of Pentacles, and the reverse. So I feel like your name is cleared if it isn't already obvious that this person was lying about you. There is something that makes it quite clear that you were faithful to this person. So I'm getting, even if there was one or two people that believed this delusional partner of yours, they no longer believe it. They now see, because there's this glow up that happens, and there's also this appreciation from those that are around you, that the loss is your person's. Your ex is the one who's lost in this situation. It's not your loss, it's their loss. Because you were being faithful. So we have the Hanged Man in the reverse and Strength. Your story did not change. And it gets validated. It gets proven. Oh, yeah, you thought they were out cheating? Nope. They were just at Home Depot trying to make a garden box. Like, it might be the most, like, boring, banal thing. And you're like, see, I told you I wasn't cheating. I was just, reading a book in the library. But if it was difficult to prove for a second, then this person was like, I knew you were doing that. Your reputation is protected. But now we have the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Oh no, where'd you go? And the Moon in the reverse. Trying to make you out to be the villain. It might have lasted like 30 seconds or 2 minutes. But they're not going to be able to make that stick. They're going to end up having to admit that the reason this relationship ended is because they didn't treat you right. We have the Hermit, Queen of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, and the Tower in the reverse. Yeah. The general consensus is you are somebody that people would be proud to date, or you are the kind of person that is consistent and honest, genuine. So you go off on your own, or you break up with this person, and yes, there are people who are interested in you. Yes, there are people who want to be able to sit next to you. But I don't think it goes as well for your ex. This person who tried to make you out to be the problem, they stay a little bit stubborn with trying to blame you and they end up hearing from multiple people how great you're doing. Just doesn't work. They don't get to be the problem that they were trying to be for you. You walk away and it's over, and they're the one who actually lost something, right? They're the one regretting what happened between the two of you because you were actually a great partner. Hello, Phoenix. How are you doing? Hello, spiritual healer. I hope you're having a good day. What else do we have? Another twin flame confirmation for you. For some of you, this person thought that they could act the way they've been acting and you would just tolerate it. Now they're realizing that the love or the connection that you have with this person, it's not enough. They have to also be respectful and like mature. I feel like they're talking to a close friend or maybe even a family member who's kind of given them like a lot of crap for this. Like, why were you so toxic? That was a good person. You burned through a great relationship for what? Like, what was the reason? Because you didn't want to get yelled at for smoking? Because you didn't want to get yelled at for drinking? Lame. They get called out. You handled that wrong and you lost a good person. You wanted to make this person look out like they were the problem. But now everyone knows that you're the one who's brokenhearted because that person was good to you. You're protected from their chaotic, toxic energy because they still need to go through some healing. And I think the reputation that you and your ex have is that you've been working on the things you need to, and this other person's been a bit of a clown. Like, that's no coincidence there. Their reputation has taken a little bit of a hit. All right, let's see what we've got for Priyanka. We shall use the Crow Tarot for Third Eye, since Third Eye likes it. Hello, Seth. How are you doing? I do be like that sometimes, Kevin. All right, what are Umesh's current energies? What is the current energy for Umesh, especially as it pertains to Priyanka, please? Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. I feel like there's money issues. Six of Swords. Hermit in the reverse. So he's preoccupied or frustrated with some sort of disappointing news in regards to finances or, you know, the market. Knight of Wands in the reverse. Justice. There's a decision that has to be made. And I don't feel like he's very happy to be in this situation. So we have the Knight of Swords and the Emperor. This is like, I got to make a decision. I don't have a lot of time to make this decision. I'll do the best that I can, but I don't really like it. The Sun in the reverse. This feels to me like there was information that was inaccurate or even hidden from Umesh, and that's part of why we have some frustration. But with the World in the reverse, what he thought was going to go well is not going well. So is this impacting his perception of Priyanka? Yes. Trying to see how you handle the situation, but also could mean that there's like less business to do or some obstacle or block with that partnership. I will do one for you, Phoenix. Just make sure that if you are able to hype a video or two, that you do. That's awesome, Third Eye. We love you. What does Phoenix need to know about the current situation? Temperance in the reverse, Two of Cups in the reverse. Seven of Wands, Two of Swords in reverse. It's time to make a decision and be honest about the fact that something is like irrevocably changed. Temperance in the reverse. This is, to me, coming through as a loss of trust because of the Two of Cups being in the reverse. King of Pentacles, Page of Cups, Four of Cups in the reverse, and the Magician in the reverse. Sorry, the Lovers in the reverse. So this says the Magician on the bottom, but it's actually the Lovers. You can tell because it's number 6. And because there's another Magician card that actually has the Magician on it. So this is interesting. I feel like this is absolutely saying you need to make a decision. You know what you need to do. You can't trust this person. They're over here offering you some sort of an apology, but for what? Sorry until the next time I do this? Four of Cups in the reverse, you're getting yelled at because you need to reject someone or you need to walk away from someone. This person doesn't deserve to be at your table. Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. When you don't make a just decision on this situation in the timeline that you need to, you put at risk a long-term relationship that would actually make you happy. So are you willing to sacrifice your happiness in a healthy relationship in your future so that you can have more time with somebody that you can't trust right now? Like, with all love and respect. Get out of there. There's something better waiting for you. But first, you have to let go of the person that you can't trust because you can't trust them. You're going to do it again. So, what are we looking forward to if we make this decision? A sense of relief. And yes, temporary disruption, but it puts you where you need to be in order to get the good stuff in life. So this is saying it's time to be honest with yourself about what you know about the situation. Yeah, that's not fun, but look, when somebody is willing to take that risk and do something that they know that they shouldn't, they know what they're risking, and they might be mad at people for figuring them out or, reporting them or whatever, but they knew the risk. You're going to break that rule or you're going to break that trust, then you know that there is a risk you're going to lose what you like. But I'm sending you a big old hug. You got a lot waiting for you on the other side of this decision, and I believe in you. You deserve to be treated better. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes, and I'll see you on the next reading. Toodles.